You don't actually want to be a country that nobody wants to come to. Because that's where we're at now, where there is 0 border crossings. And that is actually not a good thing. So now they've taken away their status. And they're like, self-deport or we'll deport you.
I've not seen any evidence that people are going to be poorly trained to be ICE agents. They'll be recruited as they always have
so
been
far,
and trained.
Evidence?
I want to hop into a spicy Piers Morgan panel debate between the Republican Tim Miller and Superman actor Dean Cain, who's been taking part in ICE raids. So if you can't, leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a ton, and let's get right to it.
Here's the problem, though, which is why I just can't give him full credit. You don't actually want to be a country that nobody wants to come to. Because that's where we're at now, where there is 0 border crossings. And that is actually not a good thing. I wanted to pull up. Here are the list of the countries with negative net migration. That could be us this year. We're going to have negative net migration, more people fleeing America than coming. Some of the other countries that have that: Syria, Venezuela, Ukraine in the middle of being invaded, Pakistan, Sudan, China. That's not what we want. A growing country wants people to want to come here.
These are great points, and it's funny to me because MAGA often will be like, oh, blue states suck. Look how many people are fleeing California, which is false, but as if it's good because people want to go there. Well, why can't you then draw the same logic to Trump having 0 border crossing? What's the difference? Which is, it's more an effect of him just banning immigration from over a dozen countries, including Sudan, which is experiencing genocide, mind you. If you want to justify that, go ahead, rather than any actual border policy that fixes the issue. But as Tim points out, it's also just dumb to want to scare off immigrants writ large. We get the brightest and best students who come here and then innovate for us, create jobs. We get hard workers who come in and fill jobs that otherwise wouldn't and raise wages for the populace while also paying massively into our tax base. There is nothing to justify nonviolent criminals being deported.
So now they've taken away their status and they're like, self-deport or we'll deport you. So these people didn't come illegally. They came through a legal process, and now we've got ICE agents and apparently former Superman actors are going to jump out of vans and nab them and hold them in deportation cells. That's insane. That's not how you act in a free country. So no, I do think in a lot of these cases it is different. A lot of these situations are complicated,
all right,
and they've tried to come legally.
They are. There is no doubt it is complicated. Dean, over to you.
Tim, I don't understand why you have to go, a former untrained actor. I'm not untrained. I've been a sheriff's deputy for almost 10 years.
Because he's unqualified for those positions too. Not getting training for a position you're not qualified for doesn't make you more qualified and more trained for a higher up position. Literally, anyone can get those. They give them out to celebrities and others as honorary positions all the time. Do you guys remember DJ earlier this year when Trump was giving the speech to Congress? It was the little black kid with brain cancer. He's deputized at over 100 agencies. Does anyone think that this kid is trained? No. These people just see this as political reality TV. It's a game. It's jokes. Haha. Funny to them. They raid communities, tear lives apart, tear families and lives apart and more, and they put it on camera for people. So why not have Dr. Phil come along? That'll be sick. Why not have Superman come along? That'll be awesome. We have so far lost the plot in this country to racism that it's insane to actually have to sit here and talk about half the country supporting Superman, an actor, busting into Home Depot and grabbing workers to detain and deport them who have been here for 20 years.
That's a legit concern that people who are not trained are going to be doing these jobs.
Sure. Two things I would say by way of response. One, I've not seen any evidence that people are going to be poorly trained to be ICE agents. They'll be recruited as they always have been and trained. Well, but you're talking about trained ICE agents.
They keep grabbing people.
I don't think wearing masks. I don't think Yeah, but my second point was we all know why they're wearing masks. It's because they're being doxxed left, right, and center on social media and having their lives threatened. Of course they are.
This is bullshit. For starters, we have evidence ICE agents aren't being trained. It is. Really quick. Let's go back to George Redis. He arrived at work. He was a U.S. citizen. ICE agents surrounded his car. He identified himself as a U.S. citizen. They broke his window, pepper sprayed him, and dragged him out. He was in detention for 3 days.
George Redis is also a veteran, mind you. They did this to a veteran who announced he was a veteran when they did it. all because he was Hispanic. But Tim is also exactly right here. Clearly from ICE behavior, they're untrained and unqualified. They're on Twitter posting job applications without a high school degree necessary. It's whatever old bully wants to light the flame from his glory days that is doing this, and we see it playing out. Citizens regularly detained, over 70% that have been detained, no criminal record. The chaos of the raid themselves, I mean, the tear gas, the fighting with protesters, nobody could look at this in good faith and say it's been a success. They're not even living up to the numbers they promised. So even if you're like, yeah, I love the cruelty, it's still a failure. Trump has failed on every level, and he's violated the Constitution and basic human rights to do so.